10th episode of Breach of Etiquette, your Legend of the Five Rings podcast. I'm Manji, and with me today are Peter Mindertsma, Daniel Landrum, and Chase Pechtel. And today we are going to be talking about the Kotei season and Gencon, which is coming up here in about 6 weeks.
There and abouts, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So, we have had, since the last episode, we have had the Coming Storm set fully come out, and we're now in the last week of Koteis, and Coming Storm is legal. Today is New Hampshire and Seattle, and we definitely want to throw out a big congratulations to Chris Medico for winning New Hampshire with Mantis.
Mm-hmm. Mantis without ogres?
Mantis didn't
No,
it said no corrupt dueling, so...
Oh,
yeah.
even better.
Yep.
He'd have to beat David Lapp's Scorpion in the finals, and that is a pretty good deck. So,
Yeah.
Is he the one that was doing the military dishonor hybrid?
at Austin, yeah.
What? No, at Dallas.
He wasn't at Dallas.
He wasn't at
was
Dallas?
he? No, he
He
was.
was.
He was at Dallas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played the same one at Dallas, yeah.
And I think he was top Scorpion there as well.
Yeah. He made top 4, I think. No, he made top 8.
So, the Coming Storm is the latest expansion for the Legend of the Five Rings card game, and it has brought quite a lot of powerful cards into the format. It's definitely changed things up. We're seeing a lot of Unicorn performing very well, partly due to Cloth Market, which is a 5-for-5 holding that is also Karmic for 2 gold, so it's basically the Unicorn's version of Productive Mine. We're seeing Chi Death becoming more and more of a thing. There are several cards in the Coming Storm that support Chi Death, and Dishonor has been fairly prevalent with Way of the Scorpion and a Growing
Got
Rift.
even better.
Now Crab Dishonor is more of a thing.
Well, I think Dishonor is a personality base that you run out of Crab or Scorpion, depending on who you don't want to pay 2 more for.
Yep.
And I think the best version is out of Scorpion, because being able to discipline Way of the Scorpion is kind of a massive swing.
Yeah.
I don't know, getting 2 or 3 Shayrays out pretty much, overrides that, because you don't have to keep disciplining her. You have to pay anything more than just the initial 5 gold.
Yeah, and then it's just which type of control do you want to deal with? Do you want to deal with, controlling all their money, or do you want to deal with controlling, their actual cards in their hand?
Yeah.
So,
So either way, it's a bitch.
more or less.
I will say it does look like, for the time being, despite James Matthews' incredible win with Phoenix Honor last weekend, going into Gen Con, I would be really gun-shy about running Honor, because the matchup against Dishonor is so bad.
Unless you're playing at Second Chance, in which case you have a really good shot at winning with Honor.
Yeah, because that's the Ivory Strict one?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had a nice long conversation earlier today about Ivory Strict.
We'll be going into that later in the podcast. But I want to know what you guys thought of the 2014 Kotei season, now that it's basically wrapped up.
No one really got to the 1,000-point prize, did they? Everyone was worried Crane was going to get to that.
If Crane hadn't been errated, I was pretty sure they were going to hit the 1,000.
Yeah.
Because
If
they
they-
keep winning Koteis and top
Yeah.
40 Koteis and top 80 Koteis.
If they were red in the very beginning, Unicorn would probably hit it at this point.
I don't think so. The Unicorn bandwagon hasn't been as strong as the Crane bandwagon.
Yeah.
Well, because the Crane bandwagon was so strong out the gate that everybody saw it right off the bat. And it wasn't until
the Crane bandwagon, to be clear, happened after Well Defended Farm got banned,
Yeah.
because Well Defended Farm and the
Double Farm
Ashigaru,
Yeah.
and the Ashigaru scheme was really definitive in pre-Kotei season.
Right, but that was pre-Kotei season, and nobody gives a shit about that.
Now they don't, but when you're looking at the first week of Koteis, realize that the reason you don't see as many Crane decks as you see even 2 or 3 weeks later is because we were still reeling from what decks work when you don't get 1,000 free force for 2 gold.
Ashigaru was banned before the Kotei started.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was banned, I want to say, a month before.
Yeah. It was pretty soon. There wasn't that much time between the ban and the actual start of the Kotei.
Yeah. And Crane were banned, Crane were errated about 6 weeks in.
April, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, actually, no, the Crane errata happened, I want to say...
Right before Dallas.
No, it was right after Austin.
Yeah, it was the
No, it
week
didn't- it
after
didn't-
Austin.
yeah.
It was the Monday after Austin.
Right, okay, never mind. Because there were 2 more Koteis before Dallas happened?
3.
3? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
It was announced our week, and then
Went into effect, are we?
No, went into
No,
effect
after.
like after.
After
Austin was the last. I mean, there were several Koteis that weekend, but obviously for us, Austin Kotei is kind of the time marker. That weekend was the last weekend that Crane were not errated.
yeah.
The last weekend that they were good.
They're
Oh, they're still good. I mean, people still won with Crane after.
Yeah, Jim.
No, I know.
Jim Balthus has won 3 Koteis with Crane, both before and after the errata. So,
Yep.
with largely the same deck that was winning pre-errata, because it turns out being able to hand out a bunch of force penalties with a bunch of aggressively costed guys is still really good.
Yeah, still having the best battle actions on people kind of wins games.
Minus 4 force, go home. Seems good.
Yeah, but that was before everybody, or actually, I don't think everybody still knows the power of freaking breaking the rhythm yet.
It'll be gone soon, so
No, it will be
No,
gone
Breaking the Rhythm
next
will-
year-ish.
next
Yeah.
year-ish.
Yeah, so,
When like Ivory Strict is Ivory Strict.
well,
People are still
will
gonna do Ivory Arc. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people will ever get
Ivory Arc will not, when Ivory 2 hits, Ivory Arc will not include Coils of Madness, Gates of Chaos, Aftermath, and those attendant promos. Mm-hmm. It will have to be Ivory Extended to include those 3 sets plus promos.
Yeah.
Now, that's why I do think that we're going to see Extended becoming more of a format next year, because I don't think the majority of players who've been collecting since Emperor or earlier, who've stayed with the game, if Ivory Arc becomes the thing next year, then we're going to see a lot of cards that were only really usable for around a year. And with the rumored sort of small amount of winter court events happening later this year, that would turn off a lot of people, I think.
I mean, Reach did say that he's going to try to go to more block format, so it might be that Gates and Aftermath and Coils just... well, I mean, Coils was legal for Gen Con last year, so it'll have been around.
Right, but it was the very first dual bug set.
Yeah.
But like, it would make Aftermath an incredibly poor purchase, especially considering the amount of money that people have later invested into the set to get cards like Jade Pearl in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, JPIs could get reprinted, though, so...
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think they're gonna take something that stable in a lot of decks out completely.
you would be surprised.
Okay, they shouldn't take things that staple out of circulation
It
completely.
can still work. You still have all those dishonor actions that you can do. I don't know.
Or they could create another fetch rare
They
holding.
like, I think it's actually very likely that we would see something like a 2-for-2 fetch holding,
Maybe.
or even for really expensive, even like a 1-for-2 fetch holding. So you'd effectively be paying a 3-for-2, but you'd be getting a guaranteed 1-for-1 you'd wanted. So with Bookkeeper and whatnot, that'll offset. But
Yeah.
I think that that sort of effect, should it come back, does need to come back at a lower rarity. Especially, I think, if Ivory Extended stays as a major format. The rarity of JPI has presented a massive problem for a lot of players. It's led to a shortage of Mantis Clan starters. So Mantis Clan players can't even buy their own starter.
Nobody can buy a starter. Like,
Yeah.
Well, no, the starters are real. The starters are out there. I saw them at Origins. I know they have them.
I think they're on
they're-
the AEG store now.
Yeah, they're on the store, on the online store. right now.
AEG has them. We just don't know if they're out to distributors yet, or what's going on there. Our local distributor is Alliance, and we haven't been able to get
Yeah,
a
they're
box
back
of the starter.
They are back ordered like nobody's business.
Apparently, they're back ordered everywhere.
Yeah.
No one has them. Our local has gone through, I think, 3 or 4 distributors, and just no one has starter displays. Though we have gotten Ivory boosters, which is great.
Quickly ran out of them.
Like the issue that I'm seeing, compared to previous arcs, what's remarkable to me about Ivory Edition is that we don't have cards sitting around. I mean, Daniel, you were with me there during like the dark days of year 2 of Emperor, and we would get boxes just sitting there, and we couldn't.
Well, also because there was like 4 of us playing too.
Yeah.
We've got a group of 12 to 14 people showing up now. So
Yeah, we have seen a tripling of our group size, and I mean, I've been looking at the math, and we can, if they get in 5 boxes, we move that in a week.
also 36 packs is a lot easier to sell than 48.
It is. It also means that for rares, we actually have to buy more packs than we did in Emperor, because instead of getting 48 rares for a box, we're getting 36.
Yep.
So,
But that's marketing.
well, it's
It's a lot easier to sell a box at 140 than 180.
it's also much easier to sell packs at 15 cards than it is to sell them at 11, because the price point is not substantially different, and the major issue, like I used to play Japanese card games, and if you want to get screwed through the pants on pack pricing, play something like Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like
It was like 6 cards per pack. No, it was like 7 cards per pack.
7 cards for like $3.
Yeah.
And that was at launch like over a decade ago. I think it's like $3.50 now for 7 cards.
No, I remember those packs. Tangent. I remember the freaking Blue Eyes packs getting up to like $15 a pack.
Yep.
And also you've got varying statistics for rarity too. Like I've already got 1 rare level, and then those.
Well, they say that, but like assuming that rare sheets are the same like print size as Magic's, which is fair. Like Mythic rares aren't like printed on their own separate sheet in Magic. Mythic rares are the rares in the rare sheet that aren't getting printed as much. So, and the same thing is definitely true in L5R. Look at, for example, the difficulty we've had cracking JPIs.
Yeah.
And we bought a lot of Aftermath.
I think our entire group has gotten 7 total.
I've got 4.
I have 3.
I cracked 4 from our game stores, so I think we just kind of hogged them all.
Okay, so never mind. We have hit the double digits of them in here,
Yeah.
because Jared's gotten 3. You've gotten 4. You said
3.
3. You
I
got
have
4. You got 3.
I got 4.
You got 4.
Trade them all for other cards.
Okay, and I don't know if I got one of the ones you pulled or whatever, because I know you traded me one, so I don't know if you're counting
Maybe.
that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it's just the fact that they immediately go in decks and are never seen train fodder.
Correct. They are not moving through the play group.
Yeah.
And I've intentionally tried to play decks that don't run JPIs,
Yeah.
so that way I can leave mine open for other people.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't play Dishonor right now either, so I mean,
Well,
it's just
there's another
PCIs.
there's another argument for Dishonor this arc, and I think one of the reasons we haven't seen it as much, despite the power of the cards, is that it's actually fairly hard to build a Dishonor deck right now. You need 3 Jade Pearl Lands, which is a chase rare. You need 3 Exquisite Silkworks, which is a chase rare. You need 3 Brilliant Cascades, and that's another chase rare. Like, I think when we priced that out, if you want to build a Dishonor deck,
that's like $120, right? No, that's like
No.
200.
no,
almost.
yeah, it's actually over 300 just on holdings.
Really?
Before you buy any other
You'll
card
want
in the set.
Oracle, and you'll want maybe some other like the
Oracle's
Dishonor-
easy to get. You can just buy the holiday pack.
The holiday
and you get
pack's not
that.
on the store.
It's not.
No.
it's
Not even just the card set.
No.
No, you had to buy it then.
Yeah.
You had to buy it last Christmas.
If you didn't buy it,
under
you're
the
not getting
holidays.
and
Oracle.
that was $60 for that. So you paid
Yeah.
$60 for.
Well, and family
Really? 'Cause
dojos,
I
and
saw like the just the cards thing
I think those are
not
right
like 2
now,
months
too.
ago.
those are out.
Yeah.
Like you can go in the store and check, but those are gone.
And how much? I mean, even then, if there was on just the cards, that's still like
$45.
$45 for JPI. or
Research
Oracle.
time.
But anyway, so you have Oracle, and my Crab Dishonor has Shrine of Hachiman's, has Jermo Quartz, has Slanderer.
Those aren't more than like $1 or $2 though. Like, well, the Hachis are like 3 or 4.
And then Yusuke Shure, she's like a $6-7 rare too.
Oh yeah,
And then Makoto's not so expensive because she's
a reprint. Yep, and her gold cost didn't change or anything.
Yeah,
So
so you always just. But that's just Dynasty side, and then
Yeah.
Fate side, you gotta have 3 Growing Rifts, which is a $8 rare. Gotta have 3 Discovering Seeds of the Voids.
3-way the Scorpion.
3-way. Well, I'm not actually putting Ray the Scorpion in
You
yet.
don't. I don't think. I think Dishonor needs Way of the Scorpion because you need to race.
3 Rebuilding the Quartz, which is like a $12 rare. So,
Oh, it is. I have like 4 of it.
Yeah, well, I got my place.
Well,
but
you
I'm
got
saying-
like 3 boxes
Yeah.
of cards.
I think of Coming Storm, I've bought 4 boxes.
And you
Well,
have-
I've acquired 4.
And you
Right.
only pulled 1 Growing Rift too.
No, I've pulled more than one, but I've traded it.
Okay. Anyways, So for a Dishonor deck for Crab for that kind of build, you're looking at a $400 deck, which is comparable to Magic, and like that's one of the only.
Well, we say comparable, but it really isn't. Like a playable tier 1 Magic deck is going to run you. They're generally 3 colors, so you're investing in 3 sets of Shocklands, which is really going to run you about 160-ish just on those.
It depends on the Shocklands.
Like if you're to go on to Star City Games right now and price out something like Jund Monsters or like Mono Blue isn't that bad, but it depends on the deck. But the generally the like more common 3 color decks are still going to run you over $400. Because the way that rares work, or the way that the secondary market works, especially in Magic, but this is also true in L5R, the more people want a certain card, especially if you need a playset of that card, the more expensive that card will be. So that's why you're going to see Jade Pearl-Ins at
We're at 45 right now.
Last I
35.
35 a card, Productive Minds in the same region, because people just need a playset of those cards.
Well,
Update to 5 minutes ago. No holiday packs.
Oh. Had to get them when they were good.
all right. Well, oh well. But yeah, well, Productive Mind is a little interchangeable though, because there's enough 4/4s. I mean, the Karmic is nice.
It is the only Karmic 4/4, and Karmic is one of the best, if not the best, abilities a holding can have right now.
Yeah, cycling through all the gold you don't need in the mid game is really good.
Yeah. And there's a reason, like, you can build a deck that has 4/4s that doesn't have Productive, and it will not be as good as a deck that's running Productive.
Oh, I know, granted, but I mean, it's one of those things that, at least in my opinion or whatever, it's Productive Mind, from what I've seen, is not as much of a staple as I've seen as people have made it out to be.
A lot of decks are running 6 4/4s, so it's a place that are productive, and then your utility 4/4.
Either Nexus of Lies or Bountiful Fields.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe at the beginning of the arc. Actually, no. At the beginning of the arc was the only 4/4, unless you're in Nexuses. But
Correct.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the arc, the only 4/4s were Productive in Nexus, and there weren't any in the Ivory base. And
You
then
could
had a new
count
one
Jade
coming
Pearl
soon.
in if you want to, but
Which is fair. People were using it as a pseudo 4/4 and tutoring things like
Yeah.
Yukihime's Hot Springs early in the Kote season.
yeah.
So the Kote season, though, is only really one half of the major L5R tournament series, and the second half is coming up here in about 6 weeks. We're going to have the Gencon tournament, and then about a month after that is the Euro Championships. And these are the 2 biggest tournaments for L5R. If you're an L5R player and you just want to go and see what the game is like, definitely go to these. The Gen Con tournaments are fantastic, and they're actually doing quite a lot of events this year.
which is nice.
I'm excited. I'm not even going to it. I just
Right.
think it's cool.
We have
The Siege event sounds fun.
so Siege is a new multiplayer expansion coming out for L5R. The full title is Siege Heart of Darkness. And in this multiplayer expansion, you don't know if there's going to be any new cards for Ivory Edition or not. But the premise of the set is that the Dark Naga and the forces of the Naga are attacking the second city, and you and 2 to 3 of your friends are going to be playing the. Is it a?
It's a 4-man team.
It's 2 to
Four.
4.
So, all right, you and up to 3 of your other friends are going to be defending the second city and its provinces from the Dark Naga's assault.
I wonder if they're going to print a new version of the Dark Naga, or if they're going to use the Foils of Madness version.
There definitely will be a new version of the Dark Naga for the multiplayer game, and it probably won't be Ivory Edition legal.
Because there's going to be another Shakash, there's another Kelsa, there's another
Yeah,
The
it's
Sleepless
like
One.
Shakash,
Sleepless One.
Quelsa, Ridikash, Sleepless One.
Ridiculous! What? I saw that. I'm like, really, guys? Come on.
Ridikash.
Ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
But
So
the
ridiculous.
the set will definitely contain a bunch of great new cards. we're all looking forward to playing it. There is a plan that has been advocated largely by me.
I made the thing.
You did, but it was after I began the encouragement.
Well, that's true. You're like, we should all make Yodo-Tai decks and go to Gencon and then win it and name all the Yodo-Tai people. It'll be great. It will be great.
And then they put a kibosh on that.
Well, they kind of did. So the plan, should those now listening be interested, the plan is called Hail Caesar. So the siege event will determine the fate of the Dark Naga, and it is safe to say that the Dark Naga will likely end up losing.
Maybe.
And on losing, fairly reasonable to assume, will die, which is a shame because the Dark Naga has been the closest thing the game has had to a villain for the last several years.
They should just have, like, if he does die, just have Egulus come back.
Well, so I was told that Legulus is dead and cannot be chosen.
Boo.
But there is one other Yodo type personality who was not on camera killed.
That's true.
Isidoros from Aftermath.
But Isidoros isn't part of the clan.
Correct, but no one, and I've spoken with the lead writer, Sean Carmen, and with Brian Reese, no one has said you can't name Isidoros.
They have said, name a person of your faction.
Correct.
And if you're not playing a faction,
I have directly asked people.
There's no
There is no non-faction stronghold.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have directly asked the lead designer and the lead writer, and Isidoros seems like he will be a choice. So we're going to lose the Dark Naga, which is a shame.
And then they write a quick fiction that says Isidoros gets killed.
The first paragraph of the Heart
It's
of
like,
Darkness thing.
yeah.
All the other are dead, guys. Sorry. Well,
A lonely Roman walks down the street and dies.
so
It's like,
Swallowed
what is your
by a
name,
Naga,
soldier?
and then-
Isidoros.
Dark
Shoot,
Naga.
shoot, yeah. It's like,
the plan then is to play whatever clan you want, but run Legulus, Isidoros, and several of the Yodo-Tai cards. That way, when and if you defeat the Dark Naga,
When? Gotta be confident.
you can name Isidoros as your personality for these tournaments, and everyone who wins will get to name a guy from their clan who defended the second city.
The Yodo-Tai defend the second city.
Well, so the way it works in my head is no. The Yodo-Tai are going to help deal with this snake people problem because the second city is theirs.
I like that much better. Just like, what are these snake people doing? We're here to burn down this city.
personally, all I'm saying is Casada's fallen after his great-grandfather. We're going to use the chafe, throw it to the darkness, and then just mop up afterwards. Like, I totally recruited some Gaijin foreigners, and then, boop, they're all dead. I'm Casada, what? Didn't you read history?
So the siege deck will be the Ivory Arc format. So it will be Coils of Madness up through Coming Storm, just like the Kote season is currently, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The Invitational tournament, you only get into the Invitational if you have won a Kote. So if you have won a Kote and you're listening to this, you already know this information. But for those that don't, the Invitational tournament will be a draft tournament. I don't know if it's running with the Coming Storm draft kits or not.
I thought it was constructed. Was it draft?
It's draft. There is a big deck tournament on Friday. Big deck has been a popular topic of discussion both here and at other podcasts and websites.
Do you like your old editions? Do you like broke cards?
Do you like a 42 province strength?
Then play Big Deck, where all your dreams come true.
Big Deck is a format where, barring a ban list, there is a ban list for Big Deck. All cards printed for the game are legal for use, but your decks must be no smaller and no larger than 100 cards, and you cannot run more than one copy of any card in your deck. So a bunch of us have been experimenting. Chase has recently gone to do it with Unicorn. Would you like to tell us about your experiences, Chase?
Yeah, look, well, I guess with most of the decks that I make, it's usually just, I'll attack you turn 2 or 3, see what happens after that. It doesn't work all the time, obviously. but it's still fun to do. Because you just get, like,
Glass cannon.
more or less, one of the experienced Jagged Eyes, throw a bunch of stuff on them, and just take provinces as fast as humanly possible.
Because that's what Chagatai does.
Yeah. Or just throw it on any unicorn person. For that.
You know what the problem is when you're winning, you're attacking during the summer. Chagatai wins when he attacks during the winter.
Winter is coming.
Daniel, you have the most experience with Big Deck. Are you what are you looking at for this tournament? Because I know you've set aside the time to play in it on Friday.
I made a joke Big Walls deck because back in Open, Caillou Wall with Caillou Sensei was just absurdly dumb because you could run a no personality honor deck and just not have to worry about your opponent attacking you because they couldn't break your promises. And I showed Manji that deck today, and he was like, "This is just dumb. It's dumb, and I don't want to play this anymore."
There were a few unseen complications in your deck that you when putting it together.
It turns out that some Walls of Otis Hanuchi have Shadowlands on them, guys.
And so therefore I can't bring you into play until I get Omen, because Omen is the great equalizer. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to do well, but you know what? It's going to be fun, and that's what Big Deck should be about. Is
What you should be concerned about is if it's going to be a multiplayer tournament.
oh god, no. It cannot be multiplayer Big Deck.
What?
There's multiplayer Commander.
Oh,
Commander's actually meant to be played multiplayer.
Like, Commander's
Yeah.
not supposed to be played one-on-one. Big Deck is supposed to pretty much be played one-on-one.
Well, Alpha Var in
From what I've
general
heard
is meant to be
from
played
other folks, it is actually built as a multiplayer format.
You know what? War of Honor Big Deck. Boom, there we go. Brian Reese be getting the biggest hard on right now. He's like, yes, they're finally going to use my format again. Come on, guys.
I liked that when I played it.
I did too.
It was
this
awesome.
this guy right here.
Yeah. Didn't you fight the Phoenix? I win in 2 turns Enlightenment at Gen Con? I think that was
never actually got at that table. But that's because they didn't actually do any. They didn't do any play testing between Emperor and Celestial, and therefore there was a keyhole that says, "Oh, you meet the conditions of playing a ring. Go put that ring in play," and therefore he did.
And he played a ring. So you can't. So if you were to play 2 rings on one turn, it wouldn't work for War of Honor. But if you play them on 5 separate turns, well, then you've got your turn, your 3 opponents,
And then your turn again. And the only one that you can't use that keyhole with is Fire, because you had to win a duel. Oh wait, no, some of the old Rings of Fire you could have done that. Oh god.
Yeah, the old rings. Yeah, the
Yeah,
old
you
rings.
could
of
do it
fire.
with the Emperor Ring of Fire.
Emperor Ring of Fire, or because Ring of Flame was only Samurai, so yeah, but wait, no, they were both about dueling, weren't they?
No, the Emperor Fire was take a province.
Yep.
I don't remember.
Yeah, the Emperor of Fire was actually kind of legitimate.
Emperor Ring of Fire was amazing, Chase.
Well, I had it, and I know I've used it before, but that was like
That was
more
years
than
ago.
2 months ago.
So they didn't
So
balance
long.
War of Honor against combining multiplayer. So a guy built an Enlightenment deck that won in 5 turns every time, and won. And then everyone's like, we kind of give up on War of Honor because the first time they did it, there was a Samurai Emperor or some Samurai Celestial. There was a pretty good ban list. Granted, there was also the heyday of Breeder, and so if you weren't fighting a Breeder deck at your table, then you got lucky. But I do enjoy the War of Honor format. I do enjoy that you actually have to play your tiles and actually think strategically about who you're going to attack and when you're going to attack them. So, War of Honor big deck, I mean, as long as we get more than an hour around, then sure.
Normal games of Big Deck take an hour. I don't know that you could do a War of Honor Big Deck in less than 90 minutes.
Yeah, most of my big deck matches are reading.
You
It's like
know, Manji,
SAT
I hear a challenge. Doing a War of Honor big deck.
Well, Peter, you got to actually build a big deck.
You do.
And then we could
No,
actually-
I don't have to build anything.
Untap allows for multiple
No,
players in one
I
game.
will not do multiplayer.
We would break this servers. They would just melt, and there'd just be like this pile of metal there, and wherever they are.
Hey, what do you guys do? 4-player big deck.
For those of you playing on Untap, we do encourage you to build big decks on it just to stress test the Untap servers because they are not pleased with big decks.
We did it last night. I don't know if it was us that broke it, but it was like, I'll just load my new deck. We'll see what happens. I got another big deck loaded up. And has them in there. And then the site went down. I don't know. I'm not going to be here.
400 cards does not compute. Does not compute.
404 server cannot be found.
So those are the three kind of other tournaments going on. Saturday at Gen Con is going to be the big day. So Saturday will consist of a siege event that myself and Daniel will be playing in that afternoon. It will also consist of the Gen Con main event tournament, which will only be able to be entered by those who have already won a Gen Con or World Championships, won a Kote this year. Main day will be Ivory Arc, which is the same as the Siege event and the Kote season has been. And the very controversial decision was to make the Second Chance tournament. The Second Chance tournament can be entered by anybody. Even if you qualified for main day, you can enter Second Chance if you want. But Second Chance this year is Ivory Strict, which means the only sets you can use to build decks are Ivory Edition and the Coming Storm.
Yes.
So guys.
Yep. Lion, straighten, and force bombs. Because there's no breaking the rhythm. And just go in there. And
Or
just
creating order.
Yeah, or creating order. Just get big, huge. That's all you got to do.
Or what was another one?
Determined challenge, bring the guys in.
Yeah. Determined challenge, bring a guy in. I am now 12 forts.
Oh, yeah, determined challenge and coward both be legal.
Yep. All the harpoon.
Yep. And none of the Eternity Bug Legacy cards that we've grown to know and love.
Entrenched is gone, so
So guess what comes back?
Sneak Attack.
Sneaks.
We'll see play
Sneak
for
Attack
the
Lion.
first time in Ivory Edition.
Yeah.
We'll hit tables.
My God. Wow, Sneak Attack line would be scary.
Really good.
Now, Unicorn is going to be great. Honor is going to be very dangerous in this format because without Dishonor to really counterbalance it, the Crane Honor race is real, guys.
Yeah.
And if you haven't built that deck, I encourage you to.
Yep, because in Strict, JPI's out, Exquisite Silkworks is out,
Kachiko is out.
Kachiko's out, all of the blanketed,
Delicate Gamble is out.
all the blanket force penalties are out. Kachiko, Hold the Walls,
Flashy's still there.
Flashy's
Flashy's
still there.
Unseemly's gone.
Yeah, Unseemly
Unseemly
Lions. And there's one more. Whatever.
Fever in the Blood.
Yes.
Fever from the Blood is out.
Yes. So
Fallen Dueling is gone because Fallen is nowhere to be found. Mm-hmm. I think Deny the False Form might be the only card that mentions Fallen in Strict.
That's true.
There are still fallen personalities.
Yeah.
Who?
Is Yoshi in there?
Yoshi is
Oh,
not a
Yoshi,
fallen.
she's not.
She's not Fallen.
She's not base.
Oh, she hasn't. Oh,
No, Shinjo, the one who reserves in?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's base set. She's a reprint, but she's not Fallen.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
You know, I don't know of any fallen guys that came in base or whatnot.
Oh yeah.
To the order.
There was a couple that came in like Gates, but
Oh yeah, they'll be.
Well, Gates and Aftermath and Coils, a bunch of Fallen guys, but
yeah, there weren't any that I remember.
Magistrate Falls is gone. Hiruma
Yeah.
Nikaru is gone.
Thank
Tales of
God.
the Disgrace is gone.
Seven Force Murder Bot Bayushi Natoshi is gone.
Hurts my soul.
Nishoji's gone.
Yeah, there
Chaos
are no
of Battle
fallen
is unfortunately
personalities.
gone. Very unfortunate. Very sad. Dueling takes a big hit. They lose a lot of high chi, decent force personalities. They lose Doji Hakuseki, who's really good.
That's the Sparrow Clan personality's gone too.
Yes,
Oh yeah, Shizume Shindo.
Yep.
the terror of mini a dueling deck is gone. Yeah, it's a very limited format. There's only, I want to say, a little over 400 cards in the format.
I think that's what it came out to.
Let's see.
450.
Well, base set is
Not like so for Strict you would look through Ivory 2.
No, because like the strongholds will be legal. So
Oh, that's a good point. Oh no, so 510 Ivory 2 cards. So 9 strongholds, 9 senseis, 9 clan champions, and the 27 cards.
the clan champions are
Right.
double bugged.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. They're not.
They're dual Ivory bugged.
They are.
They're not dual like Emperor Ivory bugged.
Just look up like Casada. Well, you don't look up Casada. Look up like
I
Malish.
guess he is heated. Ivory 1 and 2.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Okay, so add 18 cards to
Because let's include
So,
a card in the starter decks that
500
won't be able to be used.
538
strongholds and
cards.
senseis.
It's only going to be a test of deck building skill. Every clan loses something, but I think a lot of clans are going to have options that they wouldn't normally explore.
And then some clans will just flounder like they always have.
I think crab are really scary.
I don't.
Well, I mean, that's because you're a Debbie Downer, is what you are.
Well, it's because they want me to play scouts, but don't actually give me guys. See, that's the thing.
Just run Oath. Just run a billion unaligned humans. There's like 9 of them. Just run them and then oath them into crab, and you're paying like 4 gold for 5 force for no reason. For no reason.
No action.
And then discovering seeds to get them back. And then...
Can you oath over Bushi?
No, he's non-human.
Okay.
He's not human.
Oath only works on humans.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because otherwise I would have had a non-human.
Otherwise, you have a 7/4 Minkui no Oni.
Oath of Fealty, the Dark Noggin, Shtakash in there, and everything like that.
Yeah, no. This is a bad plan. I'm not
The Dark
gonna-
Naga is defending the wall.
Lizards can take oaths. You can't judge. Dogs can take oaths.
Exactly.
They're loyal.
Right.
Egg
Yeah.
of Panku is gone.
But yeah, there weren't any fallen personalities that weren't in Coil's Aftermath or Gates. So
So there is one card that references them, and
But nothing
It's a
that
good
works.
thing
with
it
them.
also does other stuff. Otherwise, it'd be a horrible meta call.
I think it's going to be an exciting format. Though we're going to see a lot of decks that we don't normally see.
yeah,
It is going to play like a much different game than what we're used to.
I'd agree.
Yeah. I'm like, the more that, like, when we talked about it earlier today, I'm just kind of like, wonder if I'd actually like to play that.
Well, we will be doing in July. One of the things that we're running a tournament for every format that'll be played at Gencon. So
Right.
even if you don't go to Gencon, if you're in Austin or the surrounding area, you will get to experience at least the formats.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
But-
we're gonna do the open. No, what is
Big
it?
Deck and Draft will be on July 5th. Then
We're gonna do Siege the week after that, right? Or is that
well, Siege isn't out until August, so we won't be
Yeah.
able to do
Oh,
that.
never mind.
It comes out at Gen Con.
Gotcha.
Also coming out at Gen Con, and I believe pre-orders for this will be going up soon, or at least I was told so at Origins, Doomtown is coming back in the form of Doomtown Reloaded.
The LCG.
It's going to be an LCG. There's going to be a core set and a deluxe set. The deluxe set is about 3 times the cost of the core set, but will contain all 3 core set versions of cards. So you'll be able to, build whatever decks you want. Doomtown is based on Deadlands, a Weird West role-playing game that has recently been picked up by Microsoft for an Xbox One television show. And
I didn't know that.
yep. So if you're into the Old West, if you're into really cool, really unique card games, Doomtown definitely looks to be it. I know I'm going to be sinking some money on the deluxe set just to have another card game to play for with the time we will have post Gen Con.
And also, if you buy the deluxe set, supposedly comes in a wooden box, and you get clay poker chips as opposed to just cardboard cutouts.
So that's neat.
That's pretty nifty,
But
actually.
Look forward to spending $150.
No, it's like
Wooden
120.
box.
Well, plus the wooden and the chips and all that other stuff.
I don't think I know it's going to be like around 100. I don't think it'll be 150. If it is, I'll be sad because I'm going to buy it anyway. So, and I do want to bring up briefly what's going to be happening post Gen Con here for the North American audience. And none of this has been confirmed yet. This is all rumors sort of going around the internet. But we are going to be looking at a small winter court season again, probably no more than... I wouldn't imagine there'll be more than 20 events, unlike the, I think, 64 we had for the Kote season. So be prepared for some long drives to win some games. But I do think that this Winter Court will have a lot of really interesting events. We're going to have the Jeweled Championships, and those are always going to be pretty exciting. The Winter Court will also have, for the first time since I want to say the start of Emperor, a Winter Court play-by-post role-playing game will be run by Alderac, as well as the folks who run Five Rings Online and Heroes of Rokugan, which are online L5R RPG communities. it's going to all be canon, if you get accepted. And I believe that was the sound of our camera dying.
Yep. Oh well, experiment failed.
Well, we'll just need to,
No video for you.
We'll just need to battery power it to charge it up some more, I guess. Or was it full battery when you?
No, it was like 80%.
Well, we'll get up what we can. We'll see how it works, and we'll see if people dig seeing our pasty white faces sitting around a microphone.
Collective pasty white faces.
So,
did you see the shine?
The really big thing to worry about for this winter court season is definitely figure out what events you and your group want to go to, and definitely check out the Play to Post RPG. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's incredibly time consuming, but always hilarious things happen. I believe last year, Monk was punched out of a building by Togashi Satsu for being Spider and being kind of derpy. I remember one year, some guy was allowed to play Shosuro Jimin and tried to poison the Empress's Chosen or something. It went bad quick.
That sounds like a G-Man thing to do, but not.
What we're going to be doing here in Texas, and this is the first time that we're going to be publicly announcing this, is we're going to be running what is tentatively titled the Texas Tournament Series. Dates will be forthcoming as we work out which cities we're going to be hosting this event in, but we are going to be hosting events starting in September 2014 and running through January 2015. That'll all be Ivory Arc events. So these will be events that will include Coils of Madness through Coming Storm, as the events now do, as well as A Line in the Sand, which is the new expansion coming out in August at Gencon.
That's going to be my next question. It's like, when does that come out? I know it comes out eventually, but...
If you're going to Gen Con, they'll have boxes to buy. So Chase, if you want to hand us money for a box.
Okay, I'll probably end up handing people money for various things at Gen Con. I'm okay with that.
So you're going to save up all the money to go to Gen Con and then not go to Gen Con.
Yeah, I'll be like, and here you go. Now buy me everything at Gen Con. I'd like a box of this, give me all this, give me a siege of whatever, I forget what it's called.
Line in the Sand.
Nagas burn the city down, whatever that one's called.
So we'll have more information coming out about that. We'll be posting it on the L5R forums, as well as trying to get it around to Kobane Port and Castle the Swift Sword and the other clan forums. Mainly because we all want to play L5R later this year. So there's going to be events held in the DFW area, Houston, San Antonio, and obviously Austin.
We're going to cap it off with Chupa on anything you have planned with that?
I have nothing planned for Chupa right now. Chupa, in this case, is Chupa CabraCon. It's a local role-playing game convention held in January here in Austin. We'll have not only the administrators for Heroes of Rokugan, we'll have Sean Carmen, the lead writer of L5R and the original lead developer of L5R 4th Edition, and in a fortuitous stroke of luck, also in attendance will be John Wick, a name that is pretty famous to most L5R players.
In the same room, even.
Maybe we'll see. I want to see if we can get John Wick into the L5R LARP that'll be happening Saturday night. That'll be fun. I think the last time he was in a LARP, he played. Oh God, it was some Seppin. He was in the Hidden Emperor LARP where they revealed that Toturi had been kidnapped. He was the Emerald Champion. That's who he was. So, I think it'll be a pretty exciting con. Also, speaking of RPGs, while we're on it, if you're going to Gen Con, I highly encourage you, if you love L5R, please, please, please come check out Heroes of Rokugan. Heroes of Rokugan has been discussed on this podcast before. They will be running sessions the entire week of Gen Con, and then on Saturday, there's going to be 2 mega awesome events that I will be in. The first in the morning is a LARP. It's called a Political Interactive, and it will be setting things up for the evening event, which is a Battle Interactive. The storyline this year is that the Dragon Clan has rebuilt Shiro Chuda on the Dragonheart Plains and named the Chuda as a vassal family to the Togashi.
This is like the big evil spider
No.
blood speaker,
Yeah.
crazy Maho people. Yeah, the dragon are cool with it.
Oh yeah, they're cool. They're with us. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
they're just making
So-
they're making a new version of the family.
And 2 clans have taken some exception to this. Unsurprisingly, the crab are like, evil? Well, that seems like a stupid plan. So the crab are going to become marching north to maybe raise some castles to the ground. The phoenix, meanwhile, have said, well, we did have to kill everyone in this building once and burn it down stone by stone. We can do that again. And predictably, this has meant that the dragon have gone, well, we're here to defend our castle, and we've brought our allies, the Lion Clan, along with us. So the dragon and the lion will be squaring off with the crab and the phoenix.
So everyone else just gonna be sitting there, just be like, I want to see what happens.
Oh
The-
no,
the-
the political interactive
The
is
political interactive is what sides does your clan take?
Oh,
Yeah.
And
And then the battle interactive.
you organize by clan, and that figures out like what side that you're going to go punch people in the D on. It's going to be
It is
wonderful.
a PvP interactive.
Well, I don't know how much PvP will actually occur.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's going to be a complete like player wipe.
Well, so the going theory here is that the last time a whole lot of, well, any blood was really shed around Shirochuda, there was a crazy, crazy monster called a Maho Spirit King, the Shootin' Doji. Literally sort of the guys who invented Maho. Maho as an evil magic.
Yeah, because Maho was originally a Sawa's thing.
Correct. The Shootin' Doji are the people who corrupted Asawa's magic. And they are theoretically, or so the story goes in Bearers of Jade, the original 3 followers of Fu Lang. And
And one of them just happened to be being held at bay in Shirochuda.
well, that was preventing a massive portal to Jigoku in general from opening. There's an adventure that ties into what'll be happening this year, but it is relatively high rank in difficulty. So if you're just starting out in Heroes of Rokugan, don't worry. There'll be a whole lot of other great adventures for you to play before Saturday, which is going to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I've done political interactives and battle interactives at Gencon. I started doing it last year, and it was a complete blast, and it's definitely going to be a highlight this year. Long story short, folks, come to Gencon. If you can't come to Gencon, go to your Winter Court events and have a lot of fun playing L5R.
sounds like a plan.
Man said it.
All right, and I think that will wrap us up for the 10th episode of Breach of Etiquette. Thank you all very much for listening, and oots!
Bonsai!